My hair's getting weirdly long on one side. It's only on a webcam, do you notice it? Good evening and welcome to another episode of Tenuous at Best with myself, Vandal K, that guy that seems to be in Australia up there, D, and that guy over there, the Zane. Hello, the Zane. How are we, sir? Are you well?
I am full of righteous piss and vinegar. How are you?
You're full of righteous piss and vinegar. That's a strong statement.
I am feeling very silly tonight for some reason. I have no
You're
idea
feeling very
why.
silly.
So it's going to be a fun show, and I've got a beer. What more could you want?
I say we get some kind of echoey thing going on.
How are you? That was probably me That was probably me not muting the stream and therefore getting nice little feedback loop.
All right, that's fine. I'm just making sure it wasn't me and the internet getting the better of my face. That's fine. So, yeah, welcome to Tennis Best. We've got me, the Zane, the D, and we're going to be talking tonight about Gamescom, which nobody else is talking about because nobody cares. We've got some chat about video games, No Man's Sky, Dead Rising 4, and we've got some other nonsense amongst the gaming, and we've got some game chat, movie chat as well, featuring the D's own opinion of Suicide Squad. So that's going to be interesting.
So,
Okay,
are you going to ask D how he is, or are you just going to leave him hanging around?
I'm going to leave him hanging around because I'm
but,
always going to work on the basis. I'm going to work on the basis of the audio podcast, right? But in the actual fact that if you do, for the love of God, go to the YouTube channel and watch the being. You look like a berated sloth. That's the only thing I can say about it.
I didn't
Zane,
do
how would
it.
you describe him?
See, the thing is, if you just
Gravitationally challenged.
Yeah. See, the thing is, if you had just asked the D how he was, the audio audience would have been none the wiser, and now you've just confused the fuck out of everybody.
Well, I just think it's important that people buy into the value of the D's production quality. I mean, we can't see his face. We don't know who he is, but we do know he's upside down and he's got jazz hands and he's fucking not scared to use them. It's good to see you boys. It is good to be back this week, and we've got a bunch of chat to have and a bunch of nonsense to share. So, shall we kick off quickly? Mr. Zane, I want your opinion on this. The No Man's Sky release, everyone's very excited about it. PS4, can't wait to play it. Looks good. I'm looking forward to getting it on the PC. And you personally said to me, dude, maybe not yet.
Just don't touch it. Yeah.
What the fuck happened on PC?
Yeah, that went a bit wrong, didn't it?
It just went a bit pear, yeah.
And it's pretty much exactly as it says. Coming to PlayStation was absolutely fine. Oh well, given the limits of the PlayStation, some folk have some crashes every now and
PC
then.
Master Race.
Some folk have some crashes, some freezes every now and then, but nothing major. Then they release it for the PC, and yeah, that just turned into a complete and utter shitstorm. I don't know if they didn't QA it properly or what the hell happened, but no matter what sort of spec you seem to be running, and for some reason older graphics cards seem to be dealing with it better than new ones. But
Oh, really?
but yeah, really stupidly powerful machines that are just going, no, I can't run this, and it just stutters like hell. You're getting frame rate drops down to like 10 frames per second, and just
Really?
all sorts of nonsense with it.
What, even on like high-end cars like the 1080s and stuff?
Yeah. I'm trying to think one I watched. I saw Total Biscuit streaming it for a wee while, and it was so bad. It seems to be a processor. I'm going to guess it's processor issues using the CPU, because it was getting so bad at times that it was affecting his mic, that his voice would actually start stuttering.
Wow.
But the game was causing that much problems. You're just like, this is mental. So it kind of explains why it waited 3 days before they put it out the door, because they obviously knew it was broke. They obviously knew it wasn't working. But they still put it out the door. They waited 3 days, but they still put it out and still put out what was essentially a broken product. You go,
That's pretty bad, huh?
for a game that's been so hyped and so expected, you really don't want to do that. Just ask Warner Brothers with Batman. I mean, it's not a move you want to pull off.
Yeah, they get mullered a wee bit with that one.
Yeah,
So
really.
is a part of the problem they've actually realised there's nothing to do in the game?
Well, I mean, this kind of distracts from the fact that there's nothing to do in the game, because you can't actually do anything in the game in order to discover there's nothing to do. So, you know, maybe it does kind of work in their favour.
Hi, can I report a bug fix, please? Sure, what's wrong? You've left out all the content.
Yeah.
Shit.
You left out the game.
Well, what's funny about that is I had a guy, a friend of mine, dropped me a line going, "Dude, you need to check out No Man's Sky." And I says, "Yeah, I'm going to buy it when it stabilizes." And his comment was, "Here, it's okay. I've sent you an email on how to get it to run on your PC." Now, I love my PC to bits, and I would like to play No Man's Sky, but you know what? See, when someone sends you an email with 12 steps on how to get the game to run, I'm done. I'm too old for that shit. I just want to play my game. So see if it ain't running, I ain't tweaking. I'm just not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So
It sounds like the way you had to play or get Counter-Strike to work on certain graphics cards back in the day.
I mean,
exactly in the mid-90s.
that is exactly the thing. It used to be when you bought a PC game, the first thing you would do is then go and look up how to run it and actually make it work. Like that, it used to be just that's what you did. And for some years, that's just the norm. It's almost like deja vu. It's almost like nostalgia when you put this thing in and it doesn't work properly.
Ooh, registry hats. Yay!
But yeah, I thought we were past that. I thought we were long past that.
We're evidently fucking not.
No.
Is Halo Games a small group? Is that right?
Yeah, there is only 30. I thought it was 11. Apparently, there's 13 of them.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I can dig that that's a lot of pressure to put on a small team, but you know, I think this is something I was talking about last week, is the fact that it's very much the kind of the hype put upon them would never be matched. And I think you said that exactly last week. You can't match that hype, and no matter what those 13 guys did, I mean, I think it's been developments like 2009 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, those guys have tried their asses off. This is where you kind of understand where kind of, you know, early access comes from.
Yeah, I mean, they get kind of thrown into the limelight by the whole thing, and then with Sony kind of taking it over, and then you get the power Sony's marketing department behind what is at the end of the day an indie game. And yeah, I'm not surprised that it was. Yeah, you look at a lot of the reviews at the moment, and it is pretty much exactly as the D there predicted, and his Sid said as well. It's like a lot of folk are just going, so yeah, what the hell do you do in this game? Like, what is the point? It's so slow. It's so. Personally, I absolutely love it. I think I could spend hours just wandering quite happily, but there is a lot of letdown there for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think one of the problems is when your planets are modelled off of like the Star Wars idea. It's like every planet doesn't have its. Every planet seems to have its.
There's lots of aunts and uncles burning.
Yeah, it's like you get. Yeah, exactly. It's like you get somewhere and it's all right. This is a desert planet. Oh, and this one's like a forest planet with ice all over it. This one's just an irradiated planet, and it's the exact same thing. It's like these are actually planet-sized planets, but if you walk for any more than a meter in any direction, you've seen pretty much what you're going to see on the entire surface. So
It's kind of a cheat in that respect. But again, this is what procedural generation is for, isn't it?
I mean, I think I think from a technical point of view, this is it's a step towards seeing what games are going to be. It's a step to seeing what we can do and what they're going to become. But it should never have been
Blown up this way.
It should never have been hyped as much as it was for what is essentially a glimpse at the future, but certainly not the future. Yeah, I mean, I think eventually they'll get it to the point where they can make games like this, and they will be varied, and they will be really interesting. And I mean, like I say, I don't personally, I don't have a problem with this one. I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with it as is, but Yeah, I can also understand why a lot of folk are really pissed, especially if you bought it and it doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, that's true. Can I then ask? And I've got my own personal view on this, but I want to ask you two guys: if given the opportunity, if given the choice of, is it 18 quintillion planets?
And a half, don't forget the half.
18 and a half quintillion planets, right? Would you guys rather opt for 18 and a half quintillion planets of unknown state, all kind of magic and whatever else, or let's say 1,000 planets of known variety, and within 1,000 planets, you've probably got, say, 150 set pieces or things worth discovering? What would you prefer of those two things?
I'd prefer one planet with lots of things to do on it than 18 quad zombie brilliant bits of nothingness.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was Zane. What about you?
It's the problem you get with just about any procedurally generated game at the moment is they put all these things in and they go, well, it's kind of random based on this certain algorithm. So in theory, almost anything
Anything
could
could
happen, and almost nothing ever does in
Yeah.
any of them. It's like, so yeah, that's the kind of problem with it, is the promise of what could happen as opposed to what does happen, which is generally
Yeah.
bugger all.
So what's the most exciting thing that's happened to you in this game?
In this game, reading about it. I haven't actually played a lot at the moment. I have to say, where the hell am I? Maybe about 6 hours in at most. Because
All right, so by this point, you would have completed Force Unleashed, the Sean Connery version, apparently.
Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed.
The force is strong with your young one.
Check out my
Is that a lightsaber or a crab stick?
Guy.
Just taking it off you, man. Just taking it off you.
Is that your blaster, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. There is a kind of, there's a,
No, you're not, because you still haven't really answered.
what was the question? Would you actually do it? Was the most interesting thing I've seen?
What's the most interesting thing that's happened to you so far?
The actually see that first time I taken off, and it's all, well, see, I'll look at all this from a technical point of view is probably the problem, but that first point of taking off in the ship and feeling like a 6-year-old, feeling like a 6-year-old, just to stress. But
Keep
from
a note of it.
yeah, from that one point of taking off for the planet, heading out of the planet's atmosphere, going through space, and then landing on another planet with absolutely no loading screens whatsoever, just was one of the biggest highlights I've had in gaming for quite a long time. Which is
Thank you for confirming what I already thought.
Oh no, you hate it. Like we said this at the time.
Zane, you can't say that because we don't know what he likes. And if anyone had said to me a week ago that that guy over there is going to fucking love organising a prison, I'd have said, don't talk shit. The laugh tells you all you need to know. He fucking loves organising a prison.
I don't know. Somebody tell me this guy up here would love organising a prison. That would absolutely believe. This guy playing a prison architect, on the other hand, maybe not so much.
All right, can I just pipe in on the back of that? Actually, the fact that I know what you're saying about the kind of procedurally generated thing. I don't buy it either because I always feel like it's a lot of empty spread over a thin surface, and the only argument I've got against it is my own experience of kind of procedurally generated content would be Stranded Deep by Team Beam
by Adele
on Steam. Team Beam on Steam. Hello. The game cost me like £9 or something in early access on Steam, and I bought it probably about nearly 2 years ago now. And you're stuck on an island, you've got a little raft, and you've got to survive, blah, blah, blah. I think I've talked about it in the show before. But procedural generation is one of those things, as Zane said, is one of those things that's going to give you something really interesting or something really kind of middle of the road. And what that game has afforded me has not only been the entertainment of trying to keep myself alive on an island, which is something I like the idea. I think I'm a survivalist. I'm probably not, but I think I am. And it looks really good fun in that respect. But this game has given me moments where I've gone, I need to get, I don't know, duct tape, or I need I don't know, a part for an engine from a boat, and I'll go like wreck diving, and then the procedural engine will generate, instead of like 3 sharks, it'll generate like 20, 30 sharks, and all of a sudden I'm in the shit. And that to me is what's exciting about these procedural generated things. The problem is that well, that will happen to you, and that's really exciting. But for the other 90% of your game time, which could be thousands of hours, not a great deal happens. And I think that's the stuff that Zane's getting. I guess the fact that the algorithms need to be kind of tweaked up a little bit.
It's just occurred to me, I like the fact that so many games have kind of, obviously you've got to go and collect parts to kind of do something, achieve something, or fix something. So I think as a kind of species, we're kind of losing the skills in terms of engineering and putting things together and all that kind of side of things. But if there's ever an apocalypse or we're ever stranded, we'll just think that have to go and find an engine, find a boat, find some petrol, and it'll all just magically happen.
It'll just work. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, we don't
looking at it.
We don't need cogs and gaskets. What we need is an entire fucking engine. You're right.
The real confusing thing is when we get to that place where you've had the big apocalyptic event, and that first day you step outside and there's 4 guys just punching a tree. You're like, what are you doing? Getting wood. Because it seems to be how every single one of these games start, is like you land in this place and the first thing you do is walk over and punch a tree.
See, what's funny is that D doesn't get that because he's not played any of these games, but that's exactly what happens. It's not even like a matter of go up and press A to do something to the tree. It's literally just punching it with your fist until it falls over. And this somehow happens in like 15 punches.
Yes.
I've punched trees. That's not going to happen. I'm not sure why I punch trees. I just hate nature. Fuck you, nature.
I was going to say, I've never punched a tree in my life, but somehow I also knew that doesn't happen.
Science. Anyway, so No Man's Sky in the PC, what is your verdict? Leave it the fuck alone.
On PC, I am at the moment. I still would. It's had.
The moment I still would.
I
would.
As I still would leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Okay.
Treat that thing like a 17-year-old. I wouldn't touch it just now. It's had a patch and it seems to be working a lot better for a lot of people. But yeah, I would wait for the next one.
I just had a D chuckle. What was that?
It was the addition of the 17-year-old comment, and then you went on to say, yeah, I'll leave it for just now, as in, time's ticking, come on, hurry up.
It's like Emma Watson in The Sun over again, isn't it?
And then waiting for the next one to come along, it all just kind of fit in really nice.
Anyway, so I will hold fire until you give me advice to say, go and get that fucking game.
Go and pick it up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up. There is definitely a fun game in there. If you like a nice chilled experience, there is a fun game in there.
The D's just gone super terrifying.
Just not in PC at the moment.
Right, I'll avoid it. D, you're terrifying me at this point. Oh, he's back. That's all right. So, okay, next up, let's look at Gamescom. Here's a question. D, as our resident, I'm not paying attention to anything guy, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Do you know what Gamescom is?
I believe it is the games convention.
When is it?
When? Saturday.
You're not far off. It actually starts today. I've heard fuck all about this. Zane, you pointed this out as well. I was like, no one's noticed this. This is like the game specific. I mean, E3 has got lots of tech and everything else involved, but E3's completely destroyed Gamescom as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be the kind of European equivalent. You've got E3, you've got Gamescom in Germany, so kind of European, and then you've got the Tokyo Games Show. You know, supposed to really kind of be the big three, and it's like Gamescom's just been completely ignored this year. I think the fact that
It's not even Xbox dashboard. Don't know about PlayStation, but it's not an Xbox dashboard.
no, that's it. Neither Sony nor Microsoft are presenting this year. They both just kind of snubbed it.
When you say presenting at these things, I always feel like people are talking about a dog showing its arsehole.
Well, I mean, I've seen a few Microsoft presentations that are far off that, to be fair, so...
I've seen a lot of those presentations that look like that. It's always you've got the awkward developer. Speaking of dogs' arseholes, D, have you heard of Gamescom? Oh, mercy. So we've got some... don't Affleck me. Don't Batfleck me. So Gamescom, we've got a bunch of stuff that's come out of it. Now, Dead Rising 4, Zane, did you see the footage?
I did.
What do you think?
I think I have never seen that many zombies in my life,
Yes.
and it looked awesome.
Did you play Dead Rising 3?
It's not. It pisses on Dead Rising 3.
That was a lot of zombies.
I thought they were calming it down, or was it? No, they're trying to improve the performance, aren't they?
Yeah. And that's the thing is I can't really talk about that because I don't actually know if the with this whole fucking
Scorpio, fucking nonsense.
yeah, that's the thing is like now I don't know if that's running on a PC dev kit. I don't know if it's running on the Scorpio stuff. I don't know if it's running on the original Xbox. So I just look at it and go, well, that's quite pretty, but I'm not going to take it as read as to how it actually plays or performs.
Expect 1/8 of that zombie count.
What I find interesting watching the footage is you got all these zombies, but you seem to be able to sneak around them now. Like he was
Really?
walking around crouched a hell of a lot, and actually went up and went up behind a zombie and did a neck snap.
I never saw that clip. That's cool.
No, it's like you get a shitload more of them on screen, but in order to give you a chance, you seem to be able to stealth around them, which is a bit weird. So it's a bit more like the what was that movie? Really bad movie, 1970s. Body Snatchers, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Where like if you just gotta walk slowly and pretend you're one of them, they don't really notice. It seemed to be that kind of idea. It's like you just seem to be sneaking around behind these zombies and there's whole groups of them, but as long as you're not making a lot of noise, they don't seem to notice.
That seems kind of ludicrous considering the fact that usually when you or I go into it, or me and Dee went into it last time, it's literally, I've got a lightsaber, all 8 of you bitches are getting stabbed.
Come at me, fuckers.
Pretty much.
They do seem to have some interesting weapons still, at least. They're keeping that side of it alive. Guy was firing a rocket bow filled with fireworks, which was
Different.
pretty, you know.
I do
Have you had
want
the dildo gun?
Dildo gun.
Yeah, there's a big ass dildo gun in Dead Rising 3. I like Dead Rising 3 a lot. I had a lot of fun. Dee and I finished it, and I think that you and I, Zane, went through a good bit of it.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun.
It's not a game full of meaning, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, is that? Yeah, okay, that's the actual original trailer, the E3 trailer. I was going to say, it looks like the gameplay looks a lot darker as well. Well, not darker, I don't mean like darker in tone. It's still got the same kind of silly weapons and things.
But it doesn't look as
actually-
hypercolour.
Yeah, it looks actually physically darker. It looks a lot kind of more realistic than the kind of previous outings as well. But yeah, looks fun. And as long as it's got lots of multiplayers, then I'm up for that. Totally.
Do you care about it?
Yes, I do. Cannot wait. It should be presumably as much fun, if not more fun, than number 3. And 3 was absolutely fantastic. Once you kind of got over the amount of, because a lot of time in zombie kind of related games, they kind of ease you in a little bit. And this
Then
one,
you
they
get overwhelmed.
didn't. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit overwhelming, and it wasn't even a sign of things to come. By towards the end, the amount of zombies kicking about was absolutely ridiculous, and it did affect kind of what we're talking about with regards to the performance problems. So if they sorted that, then absolutely awesome. But I'm hoping that there's going to be as much fun in the game when it came to the costumes and the weapons, because that was half the thing. The amount of time we would spend and just stand in the middle of the street and then just kind of change costumes and just get a laugh out of whatever we were kind of wearing and the weapons. It was fantastic.
I would recall a very specific moment. I think probably about maybe 3 or 4 hours into Dead Rising 3 on the Xbox One, very early in our Xbox One ownership actually. And I remember I was standing. I think you'd given me a kind of a light sword, as they call it, but a lightsaber. D, and I was in the middle of a bunch of kind of zombies. I was doing the sweeping about. I thought, I've got this under control, and then I shouted. You went, D, my sword's run out of kind of like I don't know, whatever it is, effectiveness, and it just was about to kind of give up. And I went, going to come back down here and give me a hand. And I just see you left me wearing jeans and a t-shirt. You came back in a tractor dressed as Buzz Lightyear and just carved up the street. And I was like, bra fucking vo. It was incredible. Really good game. Is Dead Rising 4 Xbox only?
I believe it's coming out PC as well.
Ah, right, cool.
Which again
So
is
is this
why
an Xbox? Is this one of these Xbox Anywhere? I think.
this is one of the Xbox Anywhere ones that they kind of show the E3. So yeah. Which again is why you can't really comment anymore on what the performance is like, because I've no idea if I was looking at the Xbox version or the PC version or what it was. So
It's a pretty good get out clause, that, isn't it?
yeah. Didn't show any costumes, unfortunately, in the trailer. I think that because of this whole hashtag Frank is back thing, they're making such a big deal about being the original character again that they didn't bother to dress him up. But they certainly had the weapons. And it looks like fun.
It does
December
look like-
6th for the release date for that, so it's an old Crimbo title.
Let us take a week off at Christmas and just murder all the zombies. Is it? Do we know how many multiplayer there is so far?
Not sure.
That's a game that I'm really excited about, and I loved it as a 2-player, but I think if you'd a full 4-player exploit, that'd be amazing. But it does take me untidily to something that's kind of weirded me out at Gamescom.
The last one was more than 2 players, was it not? Sorry.
No, the last one is 2-player kind of multiplayer campaign, but there was the arcade hyper edition add-on, the Capcom special edition.
Right, okay.
It was 4-player and it was kind of arcade get points mode. But
Consider me schooled.
church. Anyway, thing that kind of made me kind of go, what the fuck was going on? And I think you called it also, Zane. Metal Gear Survive.
Yes.
Metal Gear's been fundamentally a military-based, slightly hyperbolic, but still realism-based thing.
Yeah.
And then Metal Gear Survive looks like zombie apocalypse Metal Gear survival co-op game.
Yeah, it really is. So they've sat down at Konami and went, right, we've lost Hideo Kojima. He's gone. But obviously they still own the IP, so it's like, we need to do this and we need to do it right. We need to make sure whatever we do with Metal Gear Solid, that it's big and it's brash and it's bold, and it really shows people that we've not lost our way because Hideo's gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Metal Gear DayZ survival game with weird, not quite zombies. Fucking thing. What? The most... Oh, it looks terrible. It's like the most generic piece of shit.
They've
we
announced
seen
that it's not going to be
gameplay?
a full price title.
Oh, it will be. It's Konami. It fucking will be.
No, they've said it's not going to be.
Really?
Yeah, I was reading that earlier on. It's not going to
Holy
be
shit.
what they referenced, a $60 title, which must be the equivalent of our 40 quid.
I'm surprised at that. I'm massively surprised that those guys love to grab them some coin.
Okay, well,
These are the guys that made Metal Gear Pachinko, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in that case, it's is this a get something out quick just to reassure folk that they still have Metal Gear? I mean, it's just bizarre. I don't understand it as a direction for Metal Gear.
So am I right to expect this to be a kind of third-person Metal Gear style shooter situation where you're just wandering about helping your friends? So basically what you're saying is DayZ.
I mean, as far as the vibe I get from it is that kind of thing. Like, the only thing we saw was like a kind of massa. Obviously, it wasn't in-game footage, so it was just a kind of trailer-based thing. But yeah, it seemed to be like a kind of 4-player co-op survival, which I presume has all the usual crafting nonsense and health pack nonsense. But it seemed to be the enemies were big, kind of lumbering, not quite zombies, but they might as well have been.
Yeah, I saw like basically people with half their head missing, big crystal diamond thing sticking out their
sticking
fucking
at
head.
the top of it. Yeah, so
It's kind of cool creature design though. I like that. I think that's quite interesting. Zarek called out 25 quid in the chat room in relation to the fact that that's what the price of Ground Zeroes was. So that's probably not a far approximation if this is the epitome of a kind of mini game. So I would reckon you're probably going to end up with these two price points. You're going to end up with like 25 quid and like 50 quid, I guess. So
yeah, I'm going to agree totally with not the Rad fan and say even if it's 25 quid, that's too much based on Ground Zeroes.
yeah,
That should have been a free demo.
I didn't even play it, and I believe it was free on Xbox One at one point, was it not?
They put it onto the gold games for gold thing and gave it free for a month just before the release of Phantom Pain. Almost said
Phantom
Phantom Menace.
I've never played Phantom Pain. Is it any good?
Aye.
Should I get it?
Aye. I don't know. Metal Gear's very, very out there. It's very silly as far as storyline goes. Mechanically, it's absolutely awesome. But the story will just drag you down and suffocate you.
What with depression?
No, just with nonsense. Just
See, this is something I was speaking to my brother about this week, and he said that he bought, like, because he and I game share on Xbox, and we've got maybe 3 or 4 games that he bought this week, and they're all Capcom titles now. Other than Dead Rising, I can't think of a single Capcom title I've enjoyed, and I generally don't like that kind of thing because I don't really get Japanese IP. Now, I love J culture, I love the music, I love the food, I love all of it. I can't tune in on that kind of over convoluted, like, it's like a Spanish soap opera in terms of game style. It's like 8,000 fucking different story arcs all flying off in different directions. Bless you.
Thank you.
And that's why I don't really get that. That's why I chose Xbox over PlayStation, because I know that I'm going to get the stupid story of Marcus Phoenix and his bros doing bro stuff. Yeah, not this fucking, not John's father is the father of the great Gun Don fucking Ninja Gaiden.
Gun. Oh, I love it.
I don't know what the fuck that shit is, but it just, that's what I'm kind of going. I don't want to have to care about a family dynasty. I want to play a game that I go, oh, that was fun.
yeah.
So I don't care about Capcom. And then that was when my brother said to me, "Oh, I got these games on the Capcom sale," and I'm sitting there going, I couldn't give 2 fucks about Capcom. That there is the fundamental reason why I am Xbox and not anything else.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
weird.
if which is why I kind of struggle to say, yeah, absolutely go and get it. It's like, mechanically, it's one of the greatest open world games. Like, if The Witcher hadn't come out that same year, it would have been the best open world game I've played in maybe the past 5 years. Like, but Witcher came out the same year and kind of pissed all over that. So,
The fucking Witcher. Let's make sure that when we refer to it, it's referred to as the fucking Witcher
But I do-
because it's phenomenal.
but I do think the storyline would drive you up the wall. So that makes it a bit harder to recommend.
So why would it drive him up the wall?
It's just bizarrely out there, and it really is. Hideo Kojima is a man who has absorbed so much Western movies, especially, and then feeds them back to you with a really Japanese anime style twist that just fuck you over.
Can I ask a question then? Is it good or is it pretentious?
I would say it straddles a line.
So it's pretentious.
There is a great deal of pretension in there, actually, because see if Hideo Kojima's name wasn't on it and he hadn't been doing it for so long, I would probably go, this is utterly bullshit. But it kind of sucked me in with the first Metal Gear Solid, and I've kind of loved it ever since.
I literally, but long before Xbox, maybe while the original Xbox was happening, I played the first game I ever completed in the PlayStation, sorry, was Tomb Raider, and the second game I ever completed was Metal Gear Solid, the first one
Yeah.
on the PlayStation. That was a great game. I enjoyed that a lot.
I mean, it's probably one of the first examples out there of a game that was truly cinematic, that would stop the action and give you a big cutscene, and the cutscenes were done in a way that it was done almost like from a camera point of view for the characters. It was the first kind of game to really try and attempt some sort of cinematic presentation of the storyline.
Yeah.
So, and do it well. So he deserves his place in history just purely for that alone. His ideas are just mental, absolutely bizarrely out there. But I don't know. Because of that first game, it kind of grabbed me, and I've just kind of gone with it for that, and absolutely love it. But yeah, if you're not into that style in the first place, it could leave you a bit cold.
Yeah, I was wondering that because it was just in the chat there actually on the YouTube channel. Zara pointed out a game called Get Even. Now that's one of those kind of strange ones because, like, I'm looking at this Metal Gear Survive, which is a bit of a twist, I guess, for us. We're looking at expecting. You expect certain things from different genres. For example, if somebody said to me, "Oh, we've seen a new Tomb Raider announcement," I would not expect a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
So this is a massive departure from what that is, and I'm okay with that. There's not something that weirds me out so much, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's it's a departure is one thing, but when we've got a world full of reboots and everything else, should you not be taking your next idea and just rebuilding it into a new IP?
Normally, I would say yes. The one thing you do need to remember is Konami are a bunch of
Profiteering gluttons.
cash, cash grab whoring bastards. So there is always that side of it.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's the thing. And, yeah, I've got to say yes. My view of this is entirely tainted by that, because I look at this and go, "What the fuck are you doing?" If it was another company, I might go, "Well, okay, they're trying to take it in another direction." Whereas I just look at this and go, "You guys have fucking lost it. He's fucking lost it years ago. He's trying to claw it back, and you're failing. You're failing miserably."
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that I kind of want them to fail anyway, because they're a bunch of cash grabbing bastards. Yeah, not a company I like.
Okay, so D, have you any thoughts on Metal Gear? Do you even have any reference actually?
I can't even remember what one it was now for what was it, maybe 2 years ago or something that came out, and that wasn't a
Is it
complete
the one you
game.
reviewed on the radio show?
It would have been, yes.
Yeah, it was Ground Zeroes.
And that wasn't a complete game, and I was disappointed by it. From what I remember, it just had like one map and different things you could do on the one map. So that kind of let me down. So I've never played a full Metal Gear Solid title as a result.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like that was a tech demo essentially for Phantom Pain that they had the balls to charge you. I think it was £30, £30 when it first came out, and 25 eventually, and then they gave it away with the Games for Gold thing for free eventually. But yeah, it's just things like that, and they do that all the bloody time.
Okay, so moving on from jarring games where you kind of go, "Oh, this is what I wanted from this. This is the title I know. This is something I'm very comfortable with." Let's move on to something else that's doing a great job of keeping its content as explicit as you'd expect it to be for that content. Does everybody love Resident Evil games? There's a unanimous decision right there. Has anyone heard about the new fucking Resident Evil game?
No, I mean the only one I played was that one where it starts off in some slum and you get a limited amount of bullets, and that just put me off right there. I just went, "See you later."
Is that 5? It's in Africa.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's 5. It's in Africa. So all the Resident Evil, well, before that one, or before, I think maybe before 4.
Sorry to jump in again. Is that the one that they got a lot of shite for at the time when they released it because all the zombies were black?
It was Africa.
That actually happened. There was a lot of complaints for going, "This game's racist. All the zombies are black." It's set in Africa.
What the fuck do you want from me?
The hell he's doing? Anyway, carry on.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's brilliant. But yeah, so Resident Evil used to be in its early days 1, 2, and 3, as my memory recalls it, were games my brother loved to bits, which were hand painted backgrounds. Everything was very fixed, and you had fixed camera positions, and then you ran about in those positions with isometric characters in a kind of faux 3D environment. So it was easy rendering for like your original PlayStation 2. And then you got this kind of, they then kind of started evolving that because hardware was catching up and they could do more. And they lost that original, you have 5 bullets and you have to be very careful how you use them, and turned it into this kind of weird arcadey vibe, which I think came around 4 or 5. And 5 was kind of where you were talking about with the Africa thing. I actually quite enjoyed 5. I think more so because my brother was a big fan of Resident Evil, so I played it through with him. So again, that was that kind of third person, be careful how you use your resources thing, using plants to kind of craft things, and a little bit of a craft system. Not as hardcore as your traditional RPG, but it was all there. And then I never saw 6. However, we're now talking about 7. Zane, what are your thoughts on that fucking trailer for 7?
Yeah,
and
I never
fucking trailer.
Yeah, but I never played 6 either, and apparently it got really panned, which is probably why they're looking at a slightly different direction. But yeah, this one is just, it looks absolutely awesome. It looks
does.
Really quite scary.
It also looks massively detached from the entire Resident Evil content.
Yeah, I'm struggling to figure out why it's called Resident Evil 7 at the moment, because I don't see anything even vaguely Resi in this at all. It's like, it looks like a combination of PT and Outlast.
Yes,
it's like they're going for the kind of first person, almost realistic visuals that you had in PT, but going by that trailer, which isn't gameplay again, but it seems to be a kind of unarmed, kind of go and hide from the monster rather than confront.
Hide them up, the title's called.
Aye, it might as well be, which can work really well. Let's say Outlast did that and did it phenomenally well, and it did give you. It's probably the first kind of horror game that, for me, that gave you that feeling of like the kind of anticipation.
Pure dread.
Yeah, like you see it in horror movies all the time where they're under the corner and hide behind the crate and they're just trying to control their breath, and you go, oh yeah, okay. Then you go and play this and they're actually chasing you and it's in a first person kind of view, and you go and hide behind a box and you're sitting there trying to hold your breath. Even though they won't fucking hear it, you're still doing it because it captured that really, really well. And this seems to be emulating more of that kind of style of horror game, which is good. But what the hell's it got to do with Resident Evil and the T-virus? And I don't know. It's too soon to tell. Maybe we'll find out at some point.
Have you watched the trailer?
No, I'm just watching some gameplay stuff just now on the screen, so completely see the comparison between was it Outlast?
Yeah. That looks a lot like the trailer, actually. Is that? Oh no, this is the original. This is the original hour they released at E3. Yeah. This is long. This is before the actual trailer that just came out there. D is very much this, but in a different environment. Do these games? I mean, this is basically, we talked about this before with Alien Isolation. It's the same kind of style of game. You're an impotent kind of protagonist, and you're in this situation where you don't have anything but your wits around you, I guess. So I would love to play them, but I'm such a massive shite bag. I will not sit and play this stuff in the dark on the projector. Otherwise, I will live in a cupboard for the rest of my life. D, is that something you're interested in?
I'm partially interested in it. It's just like, remember,
I will play it I will watch if you play it, and I'll sit in the corner hugging a kebab.
I'm up for that. There was a game that I nearly bought in my Game Bang Frenzy the other night, which was this kind of style of game, and I can't remember if it was the one that we saw. Was it Jacksepticeye play, where it was that he got this preview thing, and it was basically just walking through the same part of the house, and it just changed. And
that would have probably been,
Layers of Fear.
Layers of Fear, yeah.
Yeah, I nearly bought that the other night. And so but I didn't quite, because I think I'm going to properly shit myself watching it.
I'm up for it, but I will need to watch it on you cats, because I fucking don't do that kind of horror well. I just don't. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't get no pleasure for that. Although I'm really, it's exactly what these games are made for. You might not get pleasure from it, but the curiosity will drive you forward, and that's great game design, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's too early to tell. It's not the first time they've changed the genre. It's not the first time that they've changed how the games actually play. So
it's quite a departure to go from third to first, though, isn't it?
But yeah, you're kind of looking at this and just going, I don't really know. I can't really figure out what this has actually got to do with the Resident Evil universe.
I just wish they'd called it something else and made a new IP.
Well, maybe. I don't know. It depends on what the story is.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So from
I kind of agree with the fact, though, that what's the fuck has that got to do with Resident Evil? There's maybe some sort of tie-in somewhere, but I mean, that's when you think of Resident Evil, that's not what you think of.
Yeah, it's like somebody giving you Doom 4 and then handing you a fucking real-time strategy game. You're going, that's not what I wanted from Doom 4.
It was kind of, I suppose, even like Halo to Halo Wars. And
yes, that's exactly my point. Exactly my point.
And when you saw that, and like kind of I like a good, excuse me, top-down kind of game and stuff. But when you first saw that, you're like, what? Really? Okay.
I think because that was massively blown up by massive CGI introductions as well, didn't help that much.
Well, the intro, not
yeah, it was all fancy.
That was ridiculous Hollywood. Intro, given what
Hollywood. Then click, 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 click. Yep, that's really good. Yeah, I agree with that. So from one horrific environment, i.e. Resident Evil 7, to another, BioShock Collection, have we seen the remaster footage?
Yeah, so we talked about this last week. And certainly my kind of excitement towards this and desire to purchase all of this again and play it all again. But yeah, watching the kind of remastered footage where it does the kind of screen wipe against the similar scenes or the same scenes, just to show you what's kind of gone down. And to be fair, it's kind of what you'd expect, I suppose. It's not anything surprising. It's just better rendered kind of graphics from the same scenes and environments than it was the kind of first time around. I think the thing is that's good about this, though, apart from the fact you're getting value for money, is if you did go back and play this now, there's going to be potentially new kind of fans that will come about as a result of getting the environment and not being affected by what might have been deemed kind of older gen kind of graphics and performance.
Yeah.
So that game was mighty. It was absolutely amazing. But I'm pretty sure even if I played it just now, one thing that's going to stand out is I'll play it and go, oh, you can kind of tell it's like kind of 6-7 years old or whatever age it is. Like you would go back and play games just now and spot that. So that's the good thing about the remastering process, I think. So
I think that's it. I think it's going to kind of mitigate the shock, shall we say, of playing an older game. Like it's just going to take that away from it, because they were at the time, and probably still are, absolutely beautiful games. So it's such beautiful environments to be walking around in anyway, and such detailed environments that you're walking around in, that you really don't need to do too much else other than that, other than to up the revolution.
Up the revolution.
Up the resolution.
I'd be interested to know what the process for that is for any game.
I would wager there's actually probably the fact that they start out with the assets that they want to use on any architecture, then they downscale it during optimization. That would be my assumption.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I mean, there's no reason why you would start and say your artists, here's your palette, paint as high res as you want, because there's no reason to tell them to paint low resolution. So you'd say you're going to paint it, so paint it the best you can, and then you downscale it so that the engine can cope with the hardware that you're specifying. So I would say that remastering is probably a lot easier than you might think. And not that I know anything about that shit, but just in the sense that no one films a movie and says, let's film this at 1080p. Nobody does that. They film at 8 and 10K, knowing that in 10 years' time, 8K might be an idea we'll buy into. So I think that would make sense in a production sense.
sounds good
I think
to me.
that's actually a good point, because it's probably, even at its simplest, it wouldn't be as simple as flicking a switch. But I think you might be right there, that it's actually is potentially most of the work is actually pre-done, basically.
Yeah,
because you're right. Who's going to intentionally, unless you're kind of designing an 8-bit game or something with kind of, or a stylized game,
look. Yeah.
Then why aren't you drawing the kind of characters exactly how you're kind of, if you get concept art drawn about it? So no, that's a good point.
Yeah. So the thing that comes with that is something that I noticed. Did anybody watch the comparison videos where it kind of slices between the old and the new?
Yes.
Did you notice a good example at BioShock, the first one where you're in the bathysphere and you're going down under the water and you first see Rapture and you see the octopus flap away from the camera?
Mm-hmm.
Now when that happens in the original game, it's at 30 frames a second and it's kind of jittery, but it's kind of slow and it feels very kind of, it feels protracted and dragged out. Whereas as soon as it cuts to 60 frames a second and you see that sequence, it feels very, that's just happening and everything's very real time. I kind of think that the higher frame rate's slightly detracting from that kind of old arcadey feel. But what I loved about BioShock, it's not that I think that it's going to ruin the game any. I just wonder whether that's going to change the feel of what you're in for.
Yeah.
Zane's saying fuck off with that one.
No, I'm just like, playing the game the way it should have been played in the first place is now going to ruin it. Okay.
But do you know what I mean, though, in the sense that when something feels more kind of abstract, I guess, and then you turn it around to a situation where it is exactly as you said it was intended. It doesn't matter what was intended; it's what I experienced the first time I played the game.
I mean that is
that environment on me.
Yeah, no, I mean that is it. I think things like that is like it was probably never drawn when it was probably designed and animated in the first place. It was probably designed as to be a quick flashing skittering thing, like
Yeah,
as opposed to this kind of framing, jumpy, jerky nonsense.
Do you know what I mean? So, so it is interesting that what you got can elicit some sort of reaction. Maybe not the reaction they were looking for, but still get something that that you end up being nostalgic for.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I'm totally buying the 3 of them, and I'm going to play the shit out of them. Though I can't wait to play them.
Because I mean, it's like it's a weird thing. Like I find it with Red Dead Redemption, we were talking about that. Like when it was playing on the Xbox, I found the shooting a nightmare. I always thought it was a bit kind of juddery and not
Yep.
too great. And then playing it on the Xbox One, where is a kind of, it's still 30 frames per second, but it's a smooth 30 rather than jumping between.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I
20.
think it's not the jittery I want. I just want that kind of film class, not game class.
But yeah, I mean, I found it made a big difference.
Yeah, D's playing his back some footage right now. D, we've discussed this game already. I think we're all agreed we're going to buy it. Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Yep. That's a weekend where I don't want to see any of your ugly asses, right?
Deal. Absolute deal.
I say weekend, 3 weekends. So moving on swiftly, Zane, you flagged up Twitch buying a company called Curse. Who are Curse?
No, I didn't. Who did? Someone else did.
Wasn't
This
me.
guy.
Was it the D?
Yeah, I put it down. I saw it, and the funny thing is, I don't fully understand it, so I was bringing it up for a discussion point to be educated.
Just to
I know
throw
who
it in there.
Twitch are. I have no idea who Curse are.
Yeah, see, my knowledge of Curse, I have to say, is limited. They seem to do a lot more than I originally thought they did. What they do?
Are they like a gypsy organisation
But,
or?
well, they just kind of float about in caravans and.
That's it. Selling you clothes pegs.
But I mean, my awareness of Twitch came from the modding scene, specifically World of Warcraft for me.
You're of Curse or Twitch?
Of Curse. Basically, they would host a lot of mods for like UI tweaks and things to mod for Warcraft, and kind of expanded out from there. So a lot of the Skyrim mods,
Like the ENB guys and all that.
a lot of the Skyrim mods are on there as well, and a whole plethora of games now. But I presume they've kind of grown into more than just that. Like the description from where the hell is it? And I've lost it. The description from from the buyout seems to be that there's that they kind of do social media type things as well, which is not something I was aware of. So they're not very good at the social awareness. It'll be interesting to see if the mod side of it is something to do. I don't know if they just host mods or if they actually create something themselves, because it'll be interesting if it's a purchase to see what they can do with the Twitch UI and kind of interactivity on Twitch itself, which is something they can play around with all the time. How can they be more interactive with the actual audience or the chat rooms? So I don't know if it's been bought with that kind of purpose in mind, or if it's just, hey, these guys are making a fair bit of money and we make more, let's buy them and get their money. It could just be as simple as that, to be honest.
It probably is as simple as that, because it seems like a very odd crossover.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of related, but I don't really know. Yeah, this is the thing. I don't really know the extent of what Curse do, as to therefore what kind of value they are to Twitch.
But it's always an odd one. If you look at it from the outside, you're looking at the business market and go, "Oh, what is that company worth?" And people are going, "Oh, we'll give you $3 billion for Snapchat." You're going, "Fuck off, mate."
Yeah. But yes, and you go into their site and it just says Twitch. Curse is now part of the Twitch family. Awesome.
Yeah.
What are you doing for them? No idea.
They're probably milking them like fucking Dutch cows. It's fine.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I just thought they housed mods. People would make mods, and then that would.
I was going to say mods are
is-
just guys with like kind of like parka jackets and Vespers.
Aye, pretty much. It was just a safe haven for the rockers. It's,
Why I oughta. Nice. So can we bump on forward, because I don't think I can understand anything more about Twitch and Curse, right? And we'll see what happens next. I think it's one of those ones. So can we bump forward and say, what the fuck is Ubisoft Battle Eye?
So, Battleye is some sort of intelligence that Ubisoft have created that is, I don't know if it was designed solely for Rainbow Six Siege, but it's what it's being kind of implemented for, and it's to prevent cheating in the game, specifically kind of online cheating, of
I was going
course.
to say take it on PC, I presume.
Of course it is. They're all a bunch of cheating bastards. That's
You
why
fucking slags!
everybody who uses consoles is obviously a stand-up gentleman and not a 14-year-old.
No, you've got that wrong. Everybody in consoles can't.
That's the point. So yeah, there's I've been trying to kind of read up on some stuff quite quickly in terms of what the cheating was, but the only article I could kind of find in relation to that was players kind of using mods that were something similar to potentially wall hacks, and it's referring to a kind of pro player playing in actual tournaments and earning money who
What,
was
clipping?
who was making calls and decisions based on what was basically impossible. I.e., he was kind of saying, "Oh, there's a guy coming down the stairs just now, and there's no way that he would have been able to tell this," and it was during kind of gameplay.
Ooh.
So you can kind of read up on that. But yeah, this thing apparently somehow determines that you're cheating and bans you, and they've banned over 3,800 PC fucks in the first week that it was implemented.
If you're not sure where these opinions lie, PC fucks said it all.
Oh, like the keyboard and mouse? I bet you like the fucking cheating mod shit as well, you twat.
I love it. That's brilliant.
Okay, two things. The console players are too busy to cheat because they're too busy doing your mother, apparently.
They're really busy doing that, aren't they?
Apparently.
There's loads of
And
every one of them.
and the other one is just to add on to the whole don't be a dick, is that if you really must be a dick, don't do it in front of hundreds of thousands of other people.
Exactly.
Because that's not going to go well. Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, if it's something that isn't also some sort of DRM on the side, then yeah, batter in. Get rid of the cheats. Sounds awesome to me.
Agreed.
That was always the problem with these things before, is like there would always be some sort of kind of covert DRM that was being installed along with them, and or they would just be so heavy that they would actually like affect the performance of your PC and therefore the game at the same time. So as long as you're not getting any of that nonsense with it, yeah, okay, batter in. And if it's taking lots of cheating fuckwits out of the games, sounds even better to me.
So that is what Battleye is, sir.
Well, I appreciate that, and I care less about it than I did 10 minutes ago, but I appreciate your advice on that. So moving briefly forward, we've got Titanfall 2. When's that beta arrive?
August 19th. It's just for anybody who actually liked the first one. I presume the second one will be better. I believe there is a campaign in the second one, isn't there?
I'm up for that. I'm up for
There
that.
is.
If there's a story arc, I'm in there.
So I don't know. I might revisit. I'll see what the initial kind of comments are with regards
Yeah,
to it.
you fucking hated the first one.
Despised it. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, no, the online beta testing obviously is August 19th for anybody who's interested. Consoles only, not PC cheating fucks.
Yeah. Well, I think I think I might take a look at the beta, because between Battlefield 1 coming out the week before it and Call of Duty Infinite fucking Space Wars thing
Infinite Shock.
Infinite Chode.
coming out the week after it,
Space Chode 5.
not only will I not be buying it, but I think anybody that does is going to find a pretty much deserted freaking Battlefield, because everybody's got to either be playing Battlefield or the Call of Duty ones are still going to be playing Call of Duty, even though they complain mightily about it.
Yeah, it's
So,
a weird one. People are really aggressive about it too.
I think Titanfall is just kind of fucked just purely by dates.
Yeah, it was, but I mean, the thing is, Titanfall actually was really well placed because before, apparently, before Advanced Warfare came out, it was actually quite original. And Advanced Warfare turned up and it acted as if it had the idea first. And you're going, you're basically just cloning Titanfall, but nobody seemed to care.
Yeah.
Which kind of bothered me, I'll be honest.
When's the beta? Sorry,
19th August.
19th. So okay. And then on the 31st of August, you've got the open beta for Battlefield 1, just to come along and show you how it should really be done.
Well, that looks like a much tighter game, to be honest. Frankly, I just want to shoot people off the back of a horse.
Yeah.
personal ambition. I don't know. Fuck it. Looks good.
To be fair, actually, I mean, Titanfall did look good. Titanfall 2 does look good, and the fact that it's got a campaign did interest me. I just go, at those dates, I'll wait 6 months and pick it up down the line. Because I'm not buying 2 shooters in 2 weeks. I'm certainly not buying 3 shooters in 3 weeks. I wouldn't be buying Call of Duty anyway, but you get my point.
Yeah. Last Call of Duty I purchased was Black Ops 2.
I think I might be the same, actually.
And I scratched the shit out of my disc because I put my Xbox on its side while it was still spinning like an idiot. And I carved a hole in my disc, and then the kindly D there bought me a replacement disc, didn't he, D?
Oh, yes.
Kindly bastard. Anyway, moving forward.
Just that kind of a guy. Although
Yeah,
you have repaid that generosity only this week, thinking about it.
I did. I purchased the D a copy of Red Dead Redemption, seeing as he missed out on a cheap sale, and was resilient and not paying for the full price value of the game. So I got him the Game of the Year version with all the DLC. So he has now no excuse but to take as many hours as required to ignore everyone he knows to finish the game off. Is that the plan, D?
Yeah, pretty much. So I know it's been an interesting kind of week for me for kind of games. I've got a bit of a queue kind of lining up. At the
Holy
moment.
shit! Do tell.
Just quickly to jump in, and in other news on Xbox this week, there are a whole bunch of games a whole bunch of Rockstar games going on discount, including Red Dead Redemption.
Are you joking? No, he doesn't need to care because I bought him it. It's fine.
It's not as much. It only dropped into about £17 or something. But I switched on the
Still winning.
I switched on the Xbox the other night, and it came up with Rockstar sale and a picture of Red Dead, and I just pissed myself laughing.
That is funny.
I don't think I would have still bought it at £17. I would have. Nah.
But still, I held out.
You got the Game of the Year edition for 15, so you're doing all right.
I got it for fuck all, mate. It's you that's root.
I don't care. It was worth it just for wee face to go. Thanks, dude. Because all I was doing, it wasn't to do with money, it was defending your pride.
Oh, thank
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Jobs. So I've got Red Dead to run through.
Yep.
I downloaded, bought Unraveled as well. Played a little bit of that. Wasn't in the right mood for it, but it looks really nice. I kind of liked it.
It's loaded. I'll warn you right now. It's made of feels. It's just like the saddest, nicest thing.
I got that from the intro. I immediately got that kind of vibe from it. It's
music gets under your skin, and just the whole presentation gets under your skin. It's gorgeous stuff.
From what I've played so far, it seems like there's something behind the whole thing. And
it feels like somebody wrote it after they lost somebody important to them. Is what it feels like.
It's exactly what it feels like from the start.
I think they missed a trick with Unraveled. I think what they should have done is see the original Prince of Persia. Did I ever play it? You know, like you had to play it through. Like the game started and you had 45 minutes to finish that game.
Yeah.
So it's like at the end of the 45 minutes, it was game over, whether you completed or not. And you had to start from scratch. I think they should have done something similar with Unraveled, except what it is you just get a lighter and light the end of the string. Just right at the start of the game, and it just slowly burns down and chases them throughout the level.
That's some dark ass shit, boys. To be honest with you, I think that's cold, but also awesome.
Also got Dangerous Golf. I don't know if anybody's played that. It just looks interesting.
I don't like golf, but I like the idea of mini golf on an explosive scale. So is it
exactly?
Any good?
Haven't played it yet, so I'll review that potentially next week and let you know what it's like.
Appreciate
But on to Prison Architect.
Fucking Prison Architect. We lost you on Saturday night because of this fucking game.
Did indeed. I mean, I was saying to Kay that I had all intention in joining you guys, and I had my dinner when Kay got in contact, and I was like, I'll be on after dinner type of thing, and then it was still on the kind of screen. I was like, oh, I just need to do that one little bit. 4 a.m.
Zane and I only got to like maybe 1:45 for playing Portal 2.
Yeah. These two
I
busy
had
got
to
that.
force myself to bed.
Sorry, guys.
I said to Zane at the time, I said, there's no fucking way he's gone to bed already. I guarantee you. I text you, say, dude, just enjoy the game, have your dinner, we'll catch you a bit later, we're not doing anything serious. And I fucking knew the minute he didn't reply, I thought, he's like, fuck you guys.
So yeah, sorry guys, I've got another 6-pack there just waiting to be electrocuted. My work's really piling up on me.
I now have my first death row convict. fact. He's sitting waiting. So
So what you're saying is you're just dying to get this podcast out the fucking way?
I don't think I've got the time tonight, unfortunately. So, but yeah, so this kind of appeals to my. I used to love the original Sim City, and it reminds me of the original Sim City. Just kind of top down, very basic graphics, and it's just about basically controlling a prison, and you've got so much stuff to try and work out and basically maintain the kind of the right atmosphere and the right regimes and policies and policing and all sorts of it. It's kind of ridiculously in depth. And the more that you play it, the more stuff that you find out about the game. So it's so my prison's about, I don't know, about 120 cells large at the moment. And I'm just adding trees to make it a nice environment in places. So no, it's
So you're putting nice trees in a place where you're going to murder your inmates?
That's
Just checking.
It's a bit of a far-fetched statement. I mean, 1 in 500 maybe. And there has been a couple of murders and a couple of deaths amongst the staff as well, I admit. But those weren't intentional, so I can't exactly.
They weren't intentional, like all good murders.
Well, no, I mean, but that's the thing. You kind of make one mistake. Like one of the things that was pissed me off that it hadn't kind of taught me or I hadn't paid any attention to was you've got the different areas of the kind of prison, and the kind of separated by fences or walls, and you've got different access control doors, and some are staff only, some are kind of actual jail cell doors, and some are general purpose doors, so prisoners can go through them, or just staff only, or just the wardens or prison officers.
Yep.
So then I thought, why aren't so that the guys would go through any door? They would just go up to one, and a guard would let them through a jail cell. And I'm like, I don't want them to go into that area, because they were going up to the wall and apparently picking up contraband that was thrown over the wall, and then starting a riot with all the weapons they had.
Murder them all.
Nice.
Well, the officers were allowing them to do this, and I was like, what's going on? So I eventually found a bit which makes you kind of control the security areas, basically saying they're not allowed there, they can only go there. But the problem was so you kind of select the area and what its purpose is for as it highlights on the map. But unfortunately, the first time that I did this, I actually managed to highlight the main area where the recreation happens, the yard, and I'd set it to staff only. And it's the major kind of walk through point to all the different areas. So none of the prisoners were moving out of their cells. So they weren't eating. So I ended up with a riot in my hand, and I had to get 3 squads of riot police in there.
Who were they rioting with if they couldn't come out the cell?
Themselves. They start kind of attacking the guards inside the prison.
Nice.
So can I ask then, at what point did this game grab you, but not like City Skylines or something? Have you got a dark sensibility where you like the idea of electrocuting dickheads?
I like the creation of it. It's quite possible I would like Minecraft if it was, I don't know, slightly more interesting.
Prison.
Yeah, if Minecraft was a prison, I'd be all up in that shit.
It's very possible I would like Minecraft if it was good.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a strong statement, but I think it's accurate, yeah.
So if you want to, I don't know, kill prison guards and what have you, and search people and...
How's the control system for like?
Because it's very mouse oriented, isn't it?
Yeah, because I should say, like, you're playing it on the Xbox. It's like I played the PC version, and it is very like kind of drag a box to create your rooms and things. Like, how does that translate?
You select whatever you want to kind of build, press and hold A, and then draw the area with the left thumbstick, and then let go.
Right.
See, I was surprised that I thought the game was a lot more high res or more kind of high quality asset than it looked like. And then I looked at it online and went, "This is the shit that dude is playing with." Because I know you're quite a fan of a nice looking game. So when I saw you playing that, I was like, "Wow, that guy is straight up fucking tripping."
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be a graphically a good game. That's just one thing that might be appealing in games. It's always just about the playability, and for some reason, I just get absolutely lost in that game.
That's cool.
100%.
Zane, you been playing anything this week?
Nope.
Well, I can answer on the fact that I haven't been playing very much this week. Cat's now pouring his wee face off. I've not been playing much this week, but what I have done is I had a wee project day on Saturday. After being at a friend of mine's house who's got a rather kick-ass setup in his house, who will remain nameless, has like a rather lovely remote audio system, and I was like, I totally want to get one of those, but then I thought I can't really justify it, mostly because I keep spending all my money on drugs. And then I went, oh, what will I do? So I then had a look around, and that same friend said, "You should maybe look at Google Chromecast audio because you like multi-room audio, but you've already got decent speakers lying around. What do you do?" So I went and bought these 4 Chromecast audios. I bought 3 originally, then bought another one, and they're 25 quid a pop. And when you set it up, you register per room, hook up to your speakers, either by 3.5mm jack or optical, which I've gone optical. And now I've got room-to-room audio for which is basically 100 quid. It's fucking phenomenal. A wee Android phone to control it and load up Spotify, say I want to play this in this room or that room or all these rooms or any combination of therein. It's fucking amazing. So basically room-to-room audio for £25 per room is the balls. So kudos to my friend for the recommendation.
Yeah, can't be bad.
Pretty good.
Considering your friend usually hasn't a clue what the fuck he's talking about, that's quite impressive.
He's just one of those guys. I don't want to make him accused on the internet of being a proprietary guy that's got proprietary stuff in his house. You know, he's got kudos to maintain.
Yeah, and he's got that weird kind of blue wallpapery type thing all across his living room.
Yeah, only weird people have got that. I'll be honest. Yeah. But yeah, so Google Chromecast Audio is the balls. The only one caveat I would say is that you cannot buy 5 audios and a video and then stream audio to all devices. The audio and video are treated quite independently. So if you're looking for multi-room audio and video, that's probably not the best way to go. Although I've been pretty impressed with the quality of the products. The setup on them is mega. It's a good setup altogether, frankly.
Awesome. Hashtag not an advert.
Oh no, completely not. I'm not getting paid by anybody. Google ain't paying me. But frankly, it's a cool little setup. So if you're looking for multi-room audio and you've got some speakers lying about, it's the balls. If you're looking for really good multi-room audio and you haven't got speakers lying about, go and spend the money. Is what I would say.
We'll spend lots of money. Yeah.
Yup. So yeah, so that is the height of everything from the game. Oh, by the way, Zane, really enjoyed our Portal session the other night. Zane and I are going to be streaming some Portal at some point.
I think we should. I think folks should see what it's like when we actually fall out with each other.
Hate campaign. I believe the catchphrase for that stream will be called "No, that fucking wall, you idiot."
Yes, not that one. That one. No, not that one. That one. Not that one.
But I look forward to that for
Yes,
sure.
we definitely need to arrange that. But no, I have played bugger all because, well, the Warcraft patch hit and I have just done nothing but level up characters in anticipation for the new expansion at the end of the month. What have I got? 2 weeks left. So yeah, I've just been spending all my time going, what the fuck have you done, you bastards? You've changed the layout of all my characters. I don't know how to play any of these. You've ruined this fucking game. Followed by a week later going, this is awesome. They've changed all the characters around and it's... Yeah. So, no, I haven't been playing any games. I've been grinding Warcraft. There's a difference.
You've been grinding Warcraft. What a sentence.
Indeed.
Okay, well, I will get on to some. I think this week, well, we were talking about playing Overcooked this week, which looks like a little kind of fun, kind of Bomberman style cooking randomness. But it turns out it's local couch co-op only. So why do we go in this situation where we go, I would love a co-op couch co-op game, but then you go, no. When I said I want a couch co-op game, I didn't mean take away the co-op element. I want both.
Yes. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
That was fucking awesome. It's like I don't want one. We don't want one or the other. Just put them both in the box and send it out. It'll be fine. I've been lamenting for how many weeks? Probably since this show started. At least 3 times in the 9 shows we've mentioned. Laminated. We have laminated the death of couch co-op on the bigger platforms. And then they go and bring this out, but they go, yeah, but you can't play it online. And suddenly we're like, oh, you bastards! Want to play it online? What are you doing? Don't want to leave my house. I'm not sitting on his couch. His couch is smelly. So yeah, we need to figure a way. I mean, if we need to find a way, even if we just bring all the gear over to yours and stream it, because that looked awesome.
I'm up for that. I'm completely up for that. If you want to pick a weekend, man, would actually, you know what? Not what we're looking at. Not this weekend, but next. I am free, and let's do that. Let's couch co-op the shit out of that game. D, have you got free next weekend? Not this weekend, but next.
Let me check the file of facts.
The file of facts. Let me jump my DeLorean back to 1993.
next weekend at the moment is free. So, what night? Any night specifically?
Whatever you like. We just need to overcook some shit.
Yeah, if it's probably, I think Friday night would be good. So yeah, no, I'm free.
Cool. All right, that is what's happening next then. All right, cool. So let's move onwards from the gaming. Anybody more game chat before we shift forward?
Yeah, No Man's Sky shite. Thank you. Bye bye.
Peace.
It's not.
Right, okay, that's good. So D's basically pissed off half the country. That's good.
It's not shite. It's just broke.
That is the very same thing. I would say my other half. So moving forward, we're in movie territory now. We should put jingles in these things, but we're not that orchestrated. So, did anybody give a flying shit about the Power Rangers movie?
Nope, not at all.
Zane?
Nah, I believe we discussed that before and said fuck it.
Okay, I was going to put the Elizabeth Banks picture. It looks like it's going to be of higher quality than the TV show, but still shit. So let's move forward and not care about it. Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, are you guys fans?
Nope.
You're not? I thought
No.
you'd have liked them after the fucking, what do you call it, shake and bake situation with Talladega Nights.
It was an alright movie. It wasn't anything specific. I found it a bit weak.
And Step Brothers, you didn't like that?
No, I think I switched that off.
Really? I switched that off the first time actually, and I thought I was overtired and just thought that everybody else was right and I was wrong. But it's interesting you say that because I turned it off first time. I actually really enjoyed it second time. It was like about a third into the film. I thought this is a bit much and I'm fucking done with it. But yeah, they're going to basically do a comedy take on Sherlock Holmes with Holmes and Watson, as it turns out. It's interesting because you see these things turning up and you kind of go, we've got Johnny Lee Miller and what do you call her, Lucy Liu doing Elementary on American TV. You've got Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman doing the UK Sherlock show. UK Sherlock show. And now you've got these two. The reason being that this is completely and utterly exited controlled copyright, so people can do what the fuck they want with the IP.
Yeah.
So that seems to be why they're doing it. Does anybody care about the fact that John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell are going to do a Sherlock Holmes film?
Meh. Already. Who
D
cares?
has just posted a big picture that says "Who cares?" So basically, D's got a visual version of Zane's "Don't be a dick."
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. It's like I don't know if you remember back in the 80s, there was Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley.
I remember young Sherlock in the 80s.
It's a movie called Without a Clue, where basically Ben Kingsley is playing Watson, and he's solving all the crimes. Sherlock Holmes doesn't exist, but he's writing these pieces for the Strand, like the actual diary pieces that were published in the Strand. He's writing those, and it's actually him that's solving these murders, but he wants to remain anonymous. And then, but the whole thing kind of blows up because of the Strand articles, and folk want to get to see they want to see Sherlock Holmes, get to meet him. So he ends up hiring an actor who is Michael Caine, who is just a complete bumblefuck of an idiot.
Bumblefuck is great.
So it's like you've got him just bumbling his way through this whole thing, while Holmes is the actual genius in the background. It's Watson's the actual genius in the background solving all the murders, but doesn't want to be known. And yeah, it's like, I've seen that movie already, and it was awesome, and it's got far better actors in it as well.
That's funny.
So Without a Clue, that's my recommendation.
I will give it a check. What's actually funny is that my own mother's giving me stick at the moment, going, "Mother's listening." I'm going, You've listened to every show we've done. You should know better by now." I love you dearly, Mum, but honestly, look at D. He's hanging from the roof. What's his problem? Oh, brilliant. No, I was just looking back at young Sherlock Holmes, the film from forever ago, and I believe, was that actually Spielberg? Really?
Big rings a bell.
Chris Columbus was one of the writers. Jeez, that was a terrible film. Absolutely bloody terrible. I remember watching it because my brother and I had a Betamax recorder in our bedroom, and we used to splice tapes together. These still hanging out. I like it. And this is one of the kind of films you'd watch. That's so funny. Crazy. Anyway, so moving forward. Anyway, nobody cares about Sherlock. That's fine.
We care about this. We care about this movie so much that we've now recommended 2 other movies. I think that's all you need to know.
Who's seen? Has anybody actually watched the Arrival trailer yet?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Are you fancying it?
I like the premise. I like that it looks quite an interesting movie. I have my concerns about Amy Adams carrying a whole movie.
Yeah, she's not. She's not. She's not kind of like leading role yet, is
Yeah.
she? I
That's
don't know
the
if she ever is.
Well, I mean, I guess this is where we find out. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a
this feels very Jodie Foster Contact, doesn't it?
yeah. But yeah, I just didn't get a feel from her that this was going to be that she was going to be able to hold my attention for 2 hours and actually make
Well,
this
the same
interesting.
thing goes. Is that her supporting actor is Jeremy Renner, who's not. I like Jeremy Renner quite a lot. He's just not leading man material.
Yeah,
I watched The Messenger with him, which was a good film, but you could tell that it wasn't going to carry on its own. I like him as Hawkeye. I even liked him in The Bourne Legacy. It's a weird one.
yeah.
It really is a weird one.
Can I
Dee, did
consider?
you watch them?
Was that
Did you watch the trailers for The Arrival?
The Arrival? No, I did not.
I think it's maybe up your street. Sorry, Zane, cut you off there.
Yeah,
Is there prisons in it?
Can I consider? I would actually say don't watch the trailers, or at least one of them. I'm kind of concerned there's actually a bit too much information of what the film is actually about, as opposed to being aliens. If you
Yes.
get what I mean.
Yeah.
Which I kind of wish they hadn't done. And I don't want to say it now and spoil it, but I really like. I kind of liked it. What seems to be the underlying premise of the whole thing, which is not
Yes.
the aliens. Yeah, this is just going to sound confused as hell. I
Is it recommended? It was a good film.
We're not getting it till next year, I think it is.
Oh, right, okay.
Going by the trailer, it certainly looks interesting. Yes, but I wouldn't
think-
go out
I
of your
think
way
this
to
is
watch
one of
that
these
trailer.
Do you remember weeks ago we were talking about where should they leave trailers? This is a film that would do a lot better in the box office, I think, and I could be wrong because I don't know the marketing behind this, but I think this is something that could do really damn well if they showed that first trailer and refused to do any more. See that first teaser, 60 seconds, done that and then left it. The sheer curiosity would have pulled the audience in, I think.
No, I mean that's it. It showed you all you need to know pretty much. They told you, they told you she's a major linguist, and that they've got her aboard to try and communicate with this thing that's in some big sort of alien spaceship that's landed, and that's that is pretty much all you need to know. And then the other trailer goes into just give you a wee bit too much about what the what the whole think piece of the whole thing actually is, and you're like, okay, it sounds like a real intriguing idea. I like that twist. I wish I'd sat in a movie cinema and saw that. Thank you very much. Fuck it.
Yes. Well, that happens more often than you might like because, frankly, we've got. Well, I think.
And this is from a man who says, spoilers, go fuck yourself. Like, ironically enough.
Yeah, that's the problem is there's no end to that kind of thing because, I mean, I'm all for, like, I'm all for kind of, if people want it, have it, but I think that they should be very clear. They should be like, you get red band and green band trailers.
Yeah.
I think you should have red band and green band trailers, but you should also have a trailer scale that says, this is the red band S trailer, spoilered trailer, and this is the red band, you're getting fuck all trailer kind of thing. You
This
know
is a
that?
spoiler
Just that
to
really,
fuck one. Yeah.
this is the cut down one that you're getting nothing out of. This is the here's the essence, the the movie, if you will.
Yeah.
Then I'd be okay.
I mean, I suppose it is kind of tricky because you go, oh, you showed us too much, you're spoiling the movie. And then you get others that go, Suicide Squad, for example, there's folk trying to bloody sue over the
That
fact.
last trailer was 3.5 minutes long. 3.5 minutes.
But you get folk trying to sue over the fact that the Joker's hardly in the movie and he was the main part of the thing, mate, and they've just you've completely missold the movie
That was that
based on the
dickhead
trailer.
on Reddit, though, wasn't it?
Aye, and you're like, well, okay, you're a twat, but yes, but you do get into that kind of thing of well, if you don't show enough in the trailer, then you get these arseholes that go, oh, I didn't get what I wanted, I'm going to sue you.
Yeah.
And so
I think the guy that wants to sue has about as much right to be an asshole about it as I have rights to complain about, I don't know, the price of fucking cheese in France. It doesn't matter. Shut up. Get on with it. It's a film.
The sooner that gets slapped down, the better.
Yeah, completely. Because that guy said, what was it he said? I saw the statements this week. He said that he was pissed off because he'd taken a trip down to London and wanted Warner Brothers to refund his money to trip to London. You live in Scotland, you bellhop. Go and see it in fucking Glasgow or Edinburgh. Stop being an idiot. Jesus, you just look like an asshole.
Yeah.
That's all he's achieved.
I travelled 800 miles to see that movie. What? There's
Then
no
you're a moron.
fucking cinemas in Scotland, you. Oh.
You fudball. That's because if he did it up here, people would have called him an asshole and told him to go packing.
It's just.
Or they might have nearly died, or they might have paid £1 to get in a bigger fucking screen cinema. Fucking cinema.
D has a distinct hatred for
fucking
cinema
at it.
right now.
And while we're on the subject, fucking see, you've just started me off now. I'm just going to fucking rant now. And your mother's watching, and I'm saying fucking at 3 fucking.
Sorry, she doesn't know who you are.
sentences
She
a
thinks
word.
you're a rapscallion anyway.
That's all right then. Aye. How about let's sue Pokemon? Because
Yeah, you see that?
because there's a bloody park right
Near
across
my
the
house?
road that's near my house. It's
And
the
people are frequenting it kindly and nicely.
It's like the Pokestop isn't on your house, it's on a public area across from your house. So you bought a house and it was all nice and quiet, and now people are using it. The public services across from your fucking house, and you want to sue over it, which is fine. I would go, that's okay. I can see you've maybe got some sort of argument there until you go into it and they're going, yeah, we want you to pay some of the revenue share. We don't want you to pay us some sort of compensation. We want a share of the profits from now until this game disappears. For the inconvenience, you're like, you're just.
But we're not
fucking-
in it for the money. No.
Aye, you're just at it.
Yeah.
If you want to say I've been inconvenienced or I want compensation for the stress that it's caused or whatever else, and here's a bump, fair enough. No. I want X amount per year for the rest of this game's existence because you made some kids loiter outside my house and one of them swore at me. The only reason they swore at you is because you probably told them to bugger off in the first place, and they said, get yourself to fuck. So that's your fault as well, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's not a free shop now, is it? So fuck off.
Yeah. That one got me. I was right there with them right up until the point where they go, yeah, they're looking for revenue share in the game. It's like, I get you, but because
Yeah.
a bit of open land in front of you that's free for anybody to walk on, just get people on it.
Yeah. That's an arsehole riding the coattails. That's what that is.
Yeah.
There's an image for you. Yeah, so in the land of suings, I guess suing results in a lack of money, and a tenuous link will be Ghostbusters losing 70 million. Who cares? Have you both seen it?
I've not seen it, and
None of us, have you seen it?
None of us have seen it. Fuck Ghostbusters, moving on.
Yeah.
That's a shock. I thought one of us would have seen that.
That goes to show how much we care about that.
I mean, I think I said all I had to say on that movie at the time. It was the
That is
marketing,
true.
the marketing campaign or anti-marketing campaign just pissed me off so much that I really wasn't interested. So,
Yeah. Well, can I flag up something that I completely got fucking horribly wrong about 4 episodes ago? I was ranting about Will Poulter, who was originally scheduled and had already signed and had stock images for playing Pennywise, and It has been completely replaced by Bill Skarsgård.
How dare you? That's an outrage that you
No,
got.
so
that
basically,
wrong.
I completely misinformed our audience of 7 people. Sorry, guys. I misadvised that it was Will Poulter. So basically, no, I sung this for you guys' praises because it was good to see him doing well for himself. But it seems it's somebody else completely.
sounds
And
like he's
they've-
imitating other people, the bastard.
Aye, what a prick. But did you see the photo of Pennywise though in the new release photos?
No, I think
Yes,
He looks-
I saw it last week.
He looks like a meth head version of Chucky. Pennywise was scary because he looked like a normal clown, but with a flick of an eyebrow and a bit of teeth could look terrifying.
Yep.
And that's what it was. This is just a demon clown. It just doesn't really work. It's kind of like going, oh, what was it made that scary? Scary stuff. Let's make it more scary. You're going, you've missed the point completely, fuds. And that's what they've done there. But I just wanted to apologise for my misinformation as well.
Yeah, well, devil's advocate, if they just made it look like another normal clown, would folk just be saying what's the point of remaking it in that case?
Well, let's put it this way. Would you look at, if someone said to you, here's a picture of the scary clown and showed you a scary clown, you go, all right, that's a scary clown. If somebody then said to you, instead of that, said, look at this picture of this apparently scary clown and it looked really innocent and sweet, I'm sorry, but Ronald McDonald is 10 times fucking scarier than any clown you can show me because he looks happy. See, when you show me a happy clown, I'm the fuck out of there. That's my point. If they showed you a kind of, hi, eye happy clown, that's terrifying.
I'm telling you.
Don't you show me a clown with teeth. Don't you show me a clown with a frown and a kind of growly face on. That's not scary. A happy clown, that's the one I'm fucking scared of.
I'm telling you,
That's
if
exactly
I
why
was making that amount of money at imitation cows, I'd be happy, I know.
Well, that's kind of one of the reasons why it was scary, because even the kind of shots of him, like kind of from a distance, it's still that thing where it's a normal object as such, which isn't. All of a sudden, you've got that kind of attachment to something that you did previously trust, and now you don't. And I know exactly what you're saying about the new pictures. It's kind of like a stylization that's moving with almost the times, where you've got to come up with something like kind of really cool and edgy. It's like I suppose the new Joker and Suicide Squad, they've had to go for something that's kind of new and trendy, the kind of stylization of that character. So yeah, it seems a bit forced. It'll be interesting to see how it works, if it does work.
Yeah.
I think you've got to do it. I think you've got to like try and do something, because at the end of the day, you're trying to compete with Frankenfurter in a clown mask, which, let's face it, that's pretty damn terrifying.
I think anything that Tim Curry does, wilderness girls. If you don't get that reference, then you shouldn't be on this. Yeah, no, that is true. So going on from something that bothered me because I felt bad for misinforming our listeners and the audience. Jason Momoa. I'm going to go on to move something that annoys Zane. Jason Momoa for The Crow. How do you feel about this? The Crow's Zane's like Zane cared about The Crow to some extent, I would say.
I don't know how the hell to feel about this.
Heartbroken.
Well, it's one of these ones. I remember saying like I would watch Momoa in anything,
but not this.
I mean, it's like, at least. I mean, come on, at least make it good films.
The Crow was one of those films that wasn't very good, but made good because of the sheer haunting aspect of the main character being dead.
No, there's more to it than that. I mean, it was a good film. It captured, it captured the kind of the tone.
Grunge era.
It captured the tone of the time, but it did more than just. It was more than just Jason Lee's death that kind of propelled that.
No, but I mean that's what made it resonate. I think
it helped. I mean, I'm not saying cheers for dying, but it certainly helped, absolutely. But it's actually quite a campy, fun mess of a film.
Schlockfest. Day before you do
it. for other it's quite dark. And there's a reason why every single sequel to this movie just fell on its arse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's not actually that many comic book sequels out there either. Like there's the original, and I think I can't remember his name. The guy that wrote it, O'Brien, wrote one other Crow book, and then there's maybe like 5 or 6 that other people have written. But it's like even within the comic book industry, where they recycle and rehash characters all the time, this one just kind of got left at the side because it is such a complete story. It has a good beginning, it has a good middle, it has a good end. So, I mean, if it's
James O'Barr, apparently.
James O'Barr, that's his name, not Brian. Yeah. If they're doing just another reboot, start from scratch, it's like, well, okay, what are you going to do that's different?
Yeah,
because I don't really see a need for it.
Good point.
The fact that he's pushing for it so hard, like himself, he seems to be kind of pushing to get the role and talking about how he'll need to make time in the Aquaman schedule to find a way to actually do it. And the whole thing came about because I'm posting on his Instagram page with the director that's been attached to the movie, and just giving a big thumbs up and #seal the deal. It's like he seems to be really pushing and really wants to do it. So at least there's a passion there for the project, which hopefully will come through. I don't know who the hell are you going to get to play top dollar in this day and age? Who's going to be the Michael Wincott? That's what I want to know.
Probably going to be Michael Clark Duncan. No, he's dead. Ronnie Corbett. No, he's dead. Kenny Baker. He's dead. Too soon. Did you know that in the 4th Crow film, Wicked Prayer, that fucking Edward fucking Furlong was the Crow, starring alongside Tara Reid and David Boreanaz?
Yes, it's
I need to see this.
it's every bit as bad as it sounds, but it is actually worth watching for Boreanaz because he knows it's a piece of shit. And,
Really?
and plays it up to, he just hams it up to fuck, which is
Actually, do you like this because it's got Emmanuel Chikri in it, who's the chick out of what's that called? The Adam Sandler hairdressing film.
Don't mess with the Zohan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chick that owns the hairdressers across the road. That's her that's in that.
Oh, is she lovely?
I know you
yeah.
like her. so-
Boreanaz might just well turned up with a big placard on his chest going, I'm getting paid for this, and giving it a thumbs up in every scene because that's the level of performance he gave, and it was awesome. He was just
I think I will actually. I'm going to add that to shit movie night for
he's just
sure.
gone, fuck it, I'm having fun. But yeah, the movie is every bit as bad as it sounds.
That's amazing. The fact that Edward Furlong's still alive amuses me no end. That guy should have been killed in his own fire because not because I dislike him, just because he's well, god damn it, he's Edward Furlong and looked like he had a crack addiction at 15. Anyway, moving swiftly forward on that bag of piss, Kenny Baker, God bless the wee man. I made a joke at his expense, but
That's
a bit of a
alright.
shame.
It's alright, he's not here to hear it.
Sorry, going back to that Emmanuel
Chikri.
creature of loveliness. She did a voice in Call of Duty Black Ops.
there you go. There's a reason to play a shit game.
Oh, hey, you just watch your language, son.
No offense to her, it's the shit game I'm worried about. So yeah, Kenny Baker, R2D2, passed away this week. It was also, I think you could also see him in Time Bandits, is where you'd actually see him as him, as opposed to as R2D2. So, wee shame we see Kenny Baker pass away. Bit of a legend, bit of a legacy. But this is the thing: you kind of go through your, you grow up. I mean, we will see. Well, assuming that I don't die in a fireball in the next 5 years, you will see the likes of all your heroes pass. Like we saw, like your Bowies and everything else. But next, you're going to see your Arnie's, your Stallones, and all that. Assuming we don't die anytime soon. But all of our heroes will pass. And God bless we, Kenny Baker. He is one of the first of many in a situation that is people we kind of grew up with, I guess. Any thoughts? Is everybody heartless in here? Aye, fuck yous.
Welcome to depressing at best.
No, just it's an unfortunate reality of being fans of all these people you grew up with, I guess.
Newsflash, everybody dies.
Everybody dies. Well, that is the best addition to this show I've ever seen. Can I give you worse news than Kenny Baker or all of us dying?
Okay, we should probably add on a serious note. Yes, he will absolutely be missed.
Either, no, I completely started there. I just took the piss out of me,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
so-
going to give you worse. I'm going to give you worse news than Kenny Baker dying.
Go for it.
We've got Bad Boys 3 and 4 confirmed.
I was going to say you buried R2D2 along with him. Carry on.
Yeah, Bad Boys 3 and 4 have been confirmed, and for some reason, Bad Boys 3 is called Bad Boys for Life. So you're going to have Bad Boys for Life, then
I could have written that title. I could have actually, if I'd seen like kind of 999 betting taking bets on what they were going to call that film, I would have stuck a tenner on that, 20 quid. even.
Well, would you know it called the fourth movie that?
Well, that's what I thought.
Like Bad Boys, it's like the number, the number
For Life, yeah.
It's Bad Boys 4 Life.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 3.
The only thing I can think of is either Bad Boys 3 is going to be called Bad Boys for Life because this is where they sign out 47-year-old Will Smith and what is, I don't know, 46-year-old Martin Lawrence and go, let's hand the franchise over because you're going to look ridiculous pretending to be newbies when you're 55. It's like two Roger Murtaughs, not making any sense.
Yeah. I mean,
know?
it makes absolutely no difference to my life. I'm not going to see it.
It's not up to me. Don't give a fuck about it. It can all go in the bin. That's the end of it. Actually, apparently, it's Joe Carnahan that's involved in it. It's Bad Boys for Life, not for Life. I made
Okay.
assumptions. Still seems weird.
See, I'd heard that. You must have assumed for the same place I did. I heard that somewhere. Then again,
Yes.
Tenuous at best, folks.
Well, that's it. We're known for our lack of knowledge.
Yeah,
It just seems odd.
We just make this shit up and hope for the best.
That's it. Hope for the best podcast. That's what you should have called it. I never even thought of that. So that's our unfortunate Bad Boys news. And then we've got some other chat from the D, I believe, sir.
Yeah, just
You're on this. You are on the sign-off review here.
All right, okay.
This is on your head, be it.
Fucking pressured. So we had an interesting Shia LaBeouf night the other night, and for anybody who's
That
not,
wasn't the news I was talking about.
no, I know I'm going somewhere with this. So we had a Shia LaBeouf kind of not a night, but we kind of discovered a video I'd certainly never seen before.
Shia LaBeouf night.
And
Yay!
if nobody's ever seen it before, they have to watch it. What's the official title of that video?
I have no idea.
I
Everybody,
just search for Shia LaBeouf.
I think it's live with Shia LaBeouf or something like that, is it not?
yeah, everybody's seen this video.
Yeah, apparently 39 million people had, and I wasn't one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf live by Rob Cantor.
Yes.
Yeah, so go and watch that. It's a great kind of production piece. But relation to that, I wasn't specifically looking for Shia LaBeouf news, I'll be honest. But apparently he's going to be playing John McEnroe in a new biopic
That works, man. That
about
totally works.
John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg, their kind of famous rivalry. So
What's
yeah,
what's brilliant about that is in the notes he wrote Bjork. And I was like, what the fuck?
so I did.
I was like, why is Bjork involved here?
He
I was
could
really
he
intrigued
could
by
so
that.
play Bjork as well. Actually, thinking about it.
He could.
So I just kind of headlining news, I suppose.
I mean, I suppose
that-
sorry, just to cut. I suppose it's gonna be a chance of being a better film if they're getting Shia LaBeouf to play a non-actor.
Oh dear me. See, I think he's a very good actor.
Oh, do not like that man at all. Anyway, sorry to derail.
Next bit of snippet of news was the Get Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg adaptation of the kind of book, which certainly I'd read, so I'm kind of looking forward to this. So that started shooting, and it's being shot in Birmingham.
I literally only finished the book like two weeks ago.
Do you enjoy it?
Absolutely loved it.
Great, innit?
But yeah, it's well, I've already said this off air, but I take it it's the post-apocalyptic parts that they're filming in Birmingham.
Certainly. Whether or not they went there for the kind of the lack of production costs in terms of changing the set or not having to do anything, but yeah.
Or for the post-nuclear ambience. Yeah.
So not interested. I mean, that's not scheduled for a release date until 2018, apparently. So there's obviously, I mean, if you think about it, going back to the book, the amount of CGI that's going to be in that is going to be pretty extreme, I would imagine. So that's going to be about a year's worth of kind of production or post production for post filming. So
I was really interested in when I was reading the book through. I did not know they were making a movie of this. When I found that out, it's like, who's the kind of one person that you want to do something that is really kind of chock full of these big 80s and kind of early 90s references? Like, the book is just kind of stuff full of them. You go, maybe Spielberg could handle that. So yeah,
if you want someone at the helm, then I mean that's a good enough person to have, I reckon.
no, absolutely, yeah, I think that should be awesome.
And then the only other thing for me was just the fact that I went to see Suicide Squad last night. So,
Thoughts?
Review number 2.
I thought it was very close to being a very good film.
That's not something I expected you to say, to be honest, in this one. I expected you to trash it.
I really liked the tone. I really liked the stylization. Tiny bit samey and from a kind of a superhero comic book front for a movie. A lot of kind of tropes in there. There was one. I didn't quite follow the criticisms in terms of the actual cut of the film. There was only one cut. There was 2 cuts I was aware of that I kind of questioned, and I can only remember one of them now. In terms of, there's a bit where the kind of the character of the brother starts rampaging, and then all of a sudden there's a kind of weird cut to when they're in a kind of army base, and it's like, hang on, where did that kind of go? It's like the next day, then in the middle of an evacuation. That was kind of a bit strange. Mm-hmm. The major concern or issue I've got with the film comes down to the characters. I really liked Deadshot. I really liked Harley Quinn. I liked the Flag Dude. I really liked the kind of the woman who's the kind of the bad good person in it.
Katana.
The head of the operation. Thought she was phenomenal. And I like the fact it was like a female in that role for a change instead of it being a kind of guy. It's slightly different. Who else was there? So then you got on to
They did
Fireball,
they did really
Fireball
well.
guy, Fireball guy, whatever his name was. He was kind of like half shoehorned in. He didn't do too much.
El Diablo.
Was that El Diablo? Yep. Then you've got Killer Croc, is it?
Yeah.
Didn't do very much, and quite frankly, the voice acting from that guy was the worst voice I've ever heard. I thought it was absolutely.
And what was it? The worst voice you've ever heard?
It was just shit. He only had like 2 lines in the film, and it was a close up on him, and then there'd be a second pause, like a second or 2 pause, and then he comes out with what's supposed to be a funny line, and they were neither funny or executed good, or the sound of the voice wasn't any good. It was just absolutely dire. It was shite. Every time he opened his mouth, which was twice, I just went, "You're a dick."
Yeah, they tried to give him this kind of southern Creole style accent,
All right.
and just
Didn't work at all.
Yeah.
And then you've got fucking Aussie twat Boomerang Balls, whatever his name was. Who's this?
Jai Courtney.
Apart from the fact it was Kai Courtney for starters, which is a problem in itself, but the character was just useless, stupid, out of place, out of tone. It was just there was no reason for him to be in that. He played no part in any part of the story, character arc, nothing. He was just absolutely shite.
yeah, it's like Captain Boomerang, who threw 4 boomerangs the entire movie, and I think 2 of them actually did anything.
Yep.
So it's
And it
like
was just
fires 4 boomerangs, he's got a 50% success rate. It's like you've not earned that name, dude. They might as well have called him Knife Man. He used his blades more than he did anything else.
that's true. Joker was pretty good. Kind of like Leto's Joker, like that. And yeah, so yeah, that was the kind of major problem I had with it was some of the characters. The other bits, the kind of final battle was a bit flat for me. It was just in the same way I love the films, The Lord of the Rings, right? But one of the kind of issues I've got with Lord of the Rings is you've seen this epic 3-movie kind of whatever 6 to 9 hour journey of discovery and battles and massive battles, and how they win it in the end is basically green mist just descends across the battlefield and kills everything pretty much. That's almost the full conclusion to the film, and it's just like a total anticlimax. And the same or similar to this film, where all the kind of the fighting's done, it's all smoke, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just damp. It's nothing. It's not really that good. And then there's an explosion of sorts, and that's the end of that.
An explosion of sorts. Is that an explosion or it's not?
So yeah, I thought the ending was a bit kind of pantaloons.
That sucks, man. All right, well, I'm going to watch it this week, and if I come back next week with a review, it'll be a single digit. That's it. You got between 1 and 10, just going or whatever.
Zarek thought I was going to trash Suicide Squad, but I kind of, like I say, I like the tone and the stylization. I kind of like the music, although a couple of times I was thinking the music's bringing a lot of this, and it's doing a lot for this film. And then I was kind of thinking that in a critical way, and then I thought, hang on, I love like Guy Ritchie films and so forth, where if you take the soundtracks out of those films, it loses quite a lot of its character. So I was like, nah, fair enough. But yeah, no, I'd say watch it.
I will give you.
I find the complete opposite with the soundtrack. I find that was the distracting thing. I find that it just did not kind of syncopate with what was going on screen in any way. It just seemed like they just grabbed the tracks and thought this one will do and threw it in. It didn't seem to kind of meld with what was going on. I really liked the soundtrack, but it actually pulled me out of the movie going, oh, that's such and such a song, Watchtower, and rather than actually being kind of part of the movie and part of the action. It sounded like someone behind him in the cinema was kind of just playing through their iTunes playlist while the movie was going on. It didn't kind of sync up for me at all.
I think there was something about the soundtrack getting kind of released. I'm sure it was that where somebody's asked Reddit to hand over the details of somebody who's posted the soundtrack kind of months before the movie was out. Yeah. And they're trying to investigate who might have kind of shared it, if you will, because there was only like 20 people or something that had the files. And Reddit went.
Well, that's it. The power of Reddit will compel you. They will steal your shit and make you eat it again. Chronic. Anyway, I will watch it this week. But I've got my own personal review to throw in here, which is the amazing Independence Day Resurgence. Biggest pile of shit in the world. I really enjoyed it. Total pile of absolute dog crap nonsense. It's like getting a cone, a little, and going, oh, we put it under the machine. You press a little bit of the machine, and it's just jobbies, just shit. But it's phenomenal and it's entertaining. So think about doing that with a cone, but it's your mate doing it and you're laughing at them because that's what they got as a cone. It's kind of that kind of entertainment. It's rubbish, but you're amused by it.
Okay. It's nice. It's nice to know I've got the kind of mates that would laugh at me if I ended up with a shitty cone.
I don't ever want to know if you get a shitty cone.
But Independence Day is 10 times worse, and 10 times worse than the first one, and completely and clearly illustrates why Jerry Bruckheimer should not be making movies in this day and age. He makes a film that makes you feel like 1996 with 2016 graphics. But see if you get a spare Sunday afternoon and it's on demand, just get it because it's just a big bunch of shit and it's great. I really enjoyed it. I did.
I think it's is it out the cinema now? I don't know. Is it still in?
I caught it just before it came out. Yeah, so last showings. But yeah, I would recommend it. It's nonsense, but I would recommend it.
Okay. That's kind of what I was expecting. I was basically expecting just basically a big CGI spunk fest. So
if you were going to go and see that film and think it was going to move you, you're a bloody idiot. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I was pretty moved by the first one.
Is it because the dog survived?
That's exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I pretty much just want to see Goldblum just Goldbluming all over the.
He Goldblum's up in this mother. The funny thing is, Goldblum's really important in the kind of story arc, but for some reason ends up in a non-important place throughout the end of the film. You're kind of going, why is he there? Seems very strange. But
I think his lawyer didn't survive and appears in the sequel.
David.
No, it's a lot of shit. But no, I would recommend it. It's very good nonsense. Just tune in, just watch it, forget your brain, and enjoy the stupid. Yeah, that's my tuppence for the week. So I think that's us for the week, guys.
Yeah, I watched fuck all.
To wrap that mofo up. Zane, have you got the card at hand?
Yeah, I pressed it about 30 seconds ago. There we go.
Hey! Oh no, we'll get Angry Fleck. Okay, so you can catch me, catch all of us, I should say, at Tenuous at Best on www.tenuousatbest.com. You can get us on at 10atbest on Twitter. You can get us on facebook.com/T.A.B podcast. You can get myself on Ratworks Visuals at www.ratworks.net and myself and the D over at stereovandals.co.uk. We can get some of our tunes, including the intro music that makes this here podcast noisy at the start, I guess. Yeah, so that's all of our jazz. Zane?
You can find me in the usual spot right here, funnily enough, if you're watching. If you're not, that spot would be youtube.com/Zane Gaming TV, where, guess what I'm doing? I seem to say this every week. I am going through Dishonored. It must be nearly finished by now, god damn it. And I will be streaming again at some point, possibly with No Man's Sky, if they manage to get it working on the PC, because frankly I refuse to give publicity to a broken game, which is the reason I didn't bother streaming it for the rest of this week. So if they fix it, then I'll maybe think about it again. Until then, I think we're possibly streaming some Portal 2 by the sounds of it.
I think that's what's next, definitely.
Sounds like a plan, so get that up on the channel. So yes, if you want games and nonsense, probably more nonsense than games, youtube.com/Zane Gaming TV.
Actually, I had a thought about this. See if you listen to this on the podcast and not on YouTube, you should probably spell Zane Gaming, XAINE Gaming. Just for clarity purposes, you know.
Yeah, or look in the notes under the podcast because it's in there.
Because the thing's got it on it, you're right.
But how do you spell gaming?
Jumanji.
Badly.
All right, guys. So it's been emotional and fun. Thanks to Zarak and who else have we got? We've got not the Rad
Not the Rad fan. Hi,
Another
boy.
Rad fan, then Zarek hanging out with us yet again, our loyal cohort joining us this week. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining us. And the D is doing some crazy upside down Ben Affleck face, which is frightening me, but it's also amazing. All right, guys, catch you next week, same time.
Indeed. Take care,
Peace
folks.
out.